Title Update 5 and the preparation for Title Update 5 are things that have kept me plenty busy when it comes to Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. For those of you that are not aware, ahead of the release of Title Update 5, I had been playing the game extremely consistently. I was jumping into multiplayer lobbies all of the time to try and just raise my rank as well as my anomaly research rank as much as possible, so that we didn't really have a repeat of the situation that we had with Title Update 4, where I had to rely on the kindness of you, the Ironbreakers, to be able to host the Risen Volstrax quest for me, because I didn't really have enough master rank. Those were some good times, am I right? But some of you might be wondering, how can you be so far behind? And this is because, for those of you that are not aware, when Sunbreak came out, I actually played a majority of Sunbreak on PC first. And I even grinded anomaly rank on PC. I think I was probably sitting at like 160 when I came back and started playing on the Switch, which, again, for those of you that are not aware, the reasoning behind that is because my schedule has been pretty hectic, and that has caused the Switch to be much more adequate as my main platform when it comes to Monster Hunter than necessarily my PC. So, getting back into it, one of the big objectives that I had ahead of Title Update 5 was to get to Anomaly Research rank 181. And you might be wondering, why specifically Anomaly Research rank 181, and the reasoning behind that is because I wanted to use the Gunlance from Garangolm, which has a ton of raw damage, combined with the fact that it's got decent blue sharpness, so that I can, not have to worry too much about having to sharpen all of the time, and just combined with the fact that it had a ton of slots. This was a weapon that I wanted to use. The problem with that is that that weapon had shelling level 6. And while the first shelling level upgrade, I think it's available at like 141 or something like that, you can put gun lances that are shelling level 7 all the way up into shelling level 8. Gun lances that are shelling level 6, you have to wait all the way up to 181 before you can put those on shelling level 8. And this is a gun lance that I really wanted to use on a build. So it was actually the day before Title Update 5 dropped that I was able to do a wide shelling gunlance build. This was before I was aware of the fact that wide shelling was going to be getting a buff. The simple fact of it is, I just like the idea behind being able to stand up to the monster, being right in its face and going like, shell, erupting cannon, guard block. It's just a really neat playstyle. It really reflects the idea of being a big meaty tank right in front of the monster, and being able to just take out all of the punishment that it's dishing out while also dishing out some punishment of your own. Now, naturally, a build like this before Title Update 5 was something that was not going to be particularly fast. Hell, even after Title Update 5, wide shelling is not going to be the fastest way to kill monsters. At least, that's my personal opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the way that I feel about it. I feel like long shelling is still most likely going to be the best way if you want to engage in that. But with all of the things that we got with Title Update 5, I made a build that I'm pretty happy about, and this is a set that I've been working on. I also worked on 2 other sets, but I'm not particularly pleased with those sets, and it was funny because in preparation for this video, I was like, ooh, in this video I should talk about all of the sets. So let me go ahead and use all of my Curious Armor Crafting, what do you call them? Curious Armor Crafting things for augmenting with Curious Armor Crafting, and make sure that my other 2 sets are also up to snuff. And guess what I did? I spent probably over 2,000 augmentation materials easy, which gave me, 1,000 something Curious Augmentations, blah, blah, blah. And none of them was good. None of them. This is fantastic. I love this system. So naturally, the build that I'm going to be showing you is just going to be the wide shelling build, all right? We'll just stick with that one for now. And I'm not sure if I'm even going to be using the other ones all that much, because I just really like this build much more than the other ones. You guys can see it from the gameplay in the background. I'm fighting a 221 Risen Shigaru Magala, which hits like a goddamn truck. But you can see that I can actually take the licking and keep on ticking because this set is pretty brutally defensive while still including a lot of offensive things. So let's take a look at the set itself. As I've mentioned, when it comes to the Gunlance, we have the resounding gore trass, which if you remember my video where I talk about my favorite Gunlances, this one had an honorable mention because it looks amazing. But then I called it the resounding ass because it was shelling level 6, and at the time there was no way to actually fix that particular problem. It was just pretty much an unusable Gunlance as far as I'm concerned. I know that there's some people out there that go like, oh, but shelling level 6 is fine. It's like, bro, listen, people that say that, I almost think that they don't play Gunlance. Like, I'm sorry, that's the way that I feel. I think you guys are crazy. But anyway, we have the resounding gore trass in terms of like rampage slot. We're using an anti-aerial jewel because, you know, Strax and Risen Shigaru are vulnerable to anti-aerial. In terms of augmentation, we have a bunch of attack, which doesn't really matter that much, but every now and then I do go into the slam burst combo with this Gunlance, so I figured, why not? It's not like I need sharpness anyways, because I literally have infinite sharpness because of a Matsu's set, which we're going to be getting into. So we have a bunch of attack. We have, all of the shelling augmentations to make sure that it's got maximum shelling. And that's pretty much what we're working with when it comes to this Gunlance. Then if we go into what I have slotted on it, which you really don't have to worry that much about slots when it comes to, gear in this title update. It really all depends on what you're able to meld into your armor. You might even be able to get a set much better than this, and by the time Title Update 6 comes out, all of this is meaningless anyways, because you'll probably be able to get Heaven Sent from regular Curious Armor crafting, so you can literally have anything that you want. But anyways, I'll show it real quick. Resounding Gore Trass, we have shield decos because I'm going for max guard up. We also have Intrepid, because I no longer have Intrepid melded. I finally have enough Anomaly Research rank to be able to craft the Tier 1 slot, the Anti-Aerial Deco. Then for armor, we have Risen Kushala Glare, because it's got maximum Wirebug as well as 1 Wind Mantle. It's pretty good. We're going for Hellfire in here because, when at this particular build, we use a lot of the Ground Splitter. And we don't really use that much of the reverse Blast Dash, but whenever you use Blast Dash, you get the Hellfire thing as well. But Ground Splitter is usually our daily driver when it comes to deploying the Hellfire Mines. We also have Cornerstone. We're going to go for 3 points of Cornerstone naturally. Tempest Robe, because we are going to be going 3.7 cent, which, for those of you not aware, with 3.7 cent, when this procs, which is shortly after you engage a fight with the monster without taking damage, you have infinite sharpness, and whenever you swap switch scrolls, you basically get full reloads on the Gunlance, which is gorgeous. It's so good. Initially, I didn't like it very much, but eventually when I started to think, hey, but this way I can kind of like incorporate Bullet Barrage into the middle of, an actual powered Bullet Barrage because of another thing that we're going to be having in here that's going to be giving us additional wire bugs and stuff. It is so wild, the stuff that you can do with Title Update 5. But anyways, we got Jumping, Magazine, Cornerstone in here. Then we have Tempest Sleeves with Artillery and Backstab. Virtue Coil with Destroy, because you guys know me, I like Part Breaker. And the Virtue Coil is the piece of gear. Yes, I am taking one piece from Risen Shigaru, which is the belt. The reason why I'm taking this belt is because there's actually no other belt that I like in the game for this build. And I can't really think of another belt unless that maybe that armor that comes from the arena, because I haven't done arena on the Switch yet. Maybe that might be decent, but I don't know. I haven't even looked it up, but basically no other belts was like, oh, I want to have this belt. So I was like, oh, screw it, I'll get this. And every now and then I get an additional wire bug for beating the Bloodlust. Although Bloodlust has gotten me in tricky situations every now and then, because sometimes if you're pushed on the defensive, because a lot of times as a Gunlance man, you're pushed on the defensive. It's just something that happens. If you're pushed on the defensive and you get Blood Blight and you haven't overcome the Bloodlust, that's painful. It hurts a lot. So, but still, I like experimenting with this, so that's why I went with that. Tempest Akama, Emboldened Mind's Eye, Wisdom Talisman with the remainder Emboldened Mind's Eye and Cornerstone. This particular talisman has got 5 guard and 2 resuscitate. I've been trying to get like a good 5 guard talisman, but it's you know, I haven't gotten it yet. This one's like the best that I've gotten. It also has some decent slots, so it's whatever. When you're looking at the finalized build, you're looking at guard up at guard 5, Mind's Eye, guard up 3, Artillery, Partbreaker, Wirebug Whisper, Hellfire Cloak, Defiance, Sneak Attack, and Bold and Powder Mantle, Heaven Sent, Resuscitate 2 points, which like I said, this is just bonus, it's whatever. But it does work because you get Bloodlust, and during Bloodlust you have plus 10 attack, so whatever. Load Shells, Evade Extender, 1 point of critical boost, that comes free. 1 point of weakness exploit also comes free. You have defense boost, but to be honest, I would potentially dive into weakness exploit. I don't know if there's like a weakness exploit 4. If that's a thing, I might consider getting into that. But for now, I'm not going to because I don't want to waste too many slots. And the thing that I would replace for the weakness exploit 4, it would probably be the Hellfire. I'd get rid of Hellfire. I think that Hellfire is potentially the thing that deals the least amount of damage on the set. So I'd be willing to sacrifice that for additional weakness exploit and maybe get something else on there. We'll see. 1 point of defense boost, that also comes free. Sleep Resistance comes free. Bloodlust, Intrepid Heart, Wind Mantle, Frenzied Bloodlust. So this makes for a really cool build to play, in my opinion. This is a build that I really enjoy. In case you guys are wondering what the switch skills are for this, we are going to be rocking Charge Shelling, actually. Although you can swap this because I very rarely use Charge Shells. The reason for Charge Shelling is if you happen to fight something that's in the air, you can actually do Aerial Burst, which is not really a big deal for a wide shelling set anyways, so you might as well just go for the Blast Dash. As a matter of fact, I'm considering swapping it for the Blast Dash. It's just there was one time where I was experimenting with Aerial Burst and I never changed it because it's not a big deal. I rarely use that skill anyway. But then we also have Guard, Reload, Erupting Cannon, Ground Splitter, Reverse Blast. On the blue scroll, same thing, but instead of Ground Splitter, we have Bullet Barrage because, like I said, I weave between Bullet Barrage and Ground Splitter because you can also reload your Gunlance that way because you have Heaven Sent. So Heaven Sent gets triggered. I reload my Gunlance, swap into blue, go and do a Bullet Barrage, then swap back into red, fully reload my Gunlance, and usually go into a Ground Splitter and keep swapping between them. I'm even considering putting Redirection into this set. That might be another thing that I might slot in there as opposed to the Hellfire. The thing is, I noticed when I was using Redirection much earlier on in the game, I really struggled with the timing of it. Like, and I usually don't struggle that much with parries, but like for some reason the Redirection thing is kind of weird for me. I never really quite got perfect with it. So, yeah, I don't know if I want to have Redirection. Not to mention we have so much block anyways that I can just, like, block every... I mean, literally, in this set, you have Guard 5, Guard Up 3, and Embolden 3. It's like all of the blocking skills imaginable. And it's great. I like it. I like it a lot. But anyways, that's my set for Title Update 5. I'm probably going to be doing a lot of the grinding in multiplayer. I don't know when I'm going to be streaming it because we have Jedi Survivor coming up, and I want to stream that. So we'll see how that pans out. But, yeah, I'm enjoying Title Update 5. It even got Gaijin to come back and play the game. So I think Title Update 5 is pretty good. But I think that Title Update 6 is also going to shift the meta yet again. There's just like so many shifts all over the place, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But I do think that the grind to get up to 300 is a bit much. Because I want to do the more challenging hunts. But I'm not looking forward to that grind. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, hit up with a like. If you did not enjoy it, hit up with a dislike. Feedback is important. I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong, stay safe. Peace out.